While most players seem to prefer Baba Yetu as their favorite track from the Civ games, my favorite is its counterpart from Civ 6, apparently based on a poem written by none other than Leonardo da Vinci. It really communicates the spirit of discovery, development, and progress with these games, what these games are all about. What absolutely. Wow, nous avons tellement français ici. Je l'ai mangé tous les jours quand j'étais à la France. J'ai mangé tous les jours, je mangeais en baguette. Sogno di Volare. So this is why this is genius. So first of all, I mean, I know this piece really well, so we're going to really analyze this from start to finish. But one of the things that really makes Christopher Tin amazing is Christopher's ability to be emotional. His music is very emotional. He's absolutely a romantic composer in a 21st century. If you haven't seen my interview with Christopher Tin, I would implore you to search. We had a good chat about Sogno di Volare and several other pieces, including the old world series. We talked about that. We talked about Civilization. We were talking about the fact that he actually just premiered it, his performance of Turandot, which was a reimagining of Puccini's Turandot. As you know, Puccini, or maybe you don't know, but Puccini died without finishing Turandot of cancer. So the ending has never been finished. And so Christopher Tin was commissioned by Washington National Opera to finish it and provide his version. There have been several versions, one by a Chinese composer, one by Luciano Berio, and there was another one. And then, of course, there was this version. With all that being said, what I really adore about the beginning is how we build the intensity of this and the possibility of flight. We build that right off the bat. How do we do that? Well, we do that in the lower voices. We do that in the yeah. So check this out. This is the preview, but so it's in 12/8, and then where's the? Oh, okay. Well, this is a different version than what we're. Oh no, it's here. Okay. So what you end up having here, and the reason why this feels like it moves is because the eighth note is the one that's getting the emphasis. What? That's just da da da. The point is that this movement is what's driving this forward, right? We're looking at the tempo, allegro and energetico e maestoso. So we're moving at a pretty quick pace, which is what we're getting, obviously. Right, so we're getting all that. And then what's interesting is that when we come in, we still have that. You see this? But we have, look at this now. Una volta che avrai spiccato il voto deciderai. Right? So we have all this movement happening underneath, but what are we doing? Una volta che vorrai. So if you look at this, this is a subdivision. We're breaking this down into this. Okay, so that's why we have, and then we're sustaining. And then what makes it really powerful is that and then here we have, actually, we're moving right down here. I don't know if you can see it super well, but right down here, we have the same dotted quarters and then this sustained half note or dotted half note. And that's moving with us. Da, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, da, da. And that emphasizes that ending of that sentence, essentially. Spiccato il voto deciderai. Right? And then we go back to the... Then we have a bit of a key shift. Sguardo verso il ciel saprai. And then let's see. Liva da 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 ba ba. And then we get our big chord here, right? Pretty cool. And then, just for the record, and again, this is just like a choral rendition, so I should do this. This would be a really fun cover. I'm working on Baba Yetu. It's taken me months, just because I haven't committed to it. But here, what's actually cool, when we pick it back up and we go, una Una volta che avrai. We changed. Now look at what's different. Now we have different whole chords. We have a third here. And what we've done is we're actually shifting the layering of this piece so it's more full by adding more voices. You see this? You see how we've got the lower men and the middle men here, and then we've got these men, and then we've got the altos, and then we've got the soprano twos and the soprano ones. So what we're doing is we're creating structure. And on top of this, we have these chords here that are also fuller if you compare it to where we were here. You see how this is just layered totally differently. And we scrap the and we get these big block chords that are moving in unison with the vocals, which give it more emphasis. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And in this particular version, we're also getting emphasis, bum, pium, bum, pium, bum, pium, right? Isn't that fun? Also love this. I also love this. We say, once you have taken flight, una volta che avrai spiccato il volo, deciderai. Una volta che avrai spiccato il volo, deciderai. You'll decide, once you have decided to spiccare, that's a word I didn't know, to take flight, you will deciderai, you will decide, right? Really cool how we emphasize deciderai, because deciderai is to decide. You feel how deciderai is such a definitive, deciding something. Questa canzone è proprio perfetta da vibes, da accendino al concerto, infatti. Deciderai is such like an emphatic, to decide something is so meaningful, right? I am deciding. Deciderai, right? Oh, deciderai. Guardo verso il cielo, saprai. I love this. Wait, so and then it's beautiful because we have this sort of like we're sort of, these are just those chords I mentioned earlier, and when we end up with, sguardo verso il cielo saprai, if you look to the gaze toward sguardo, or looking towards the sky, you'll know there il cuore sentirai, in your heart you will feel at home. Lì a casa il cuore sentirai, right? It's so cool. And then we re-emphasize. We just recap, but it's different now. Now it's much more like, this is when we get those full chords, so now we're really like hitting it home. So il cielo saprà, lì a casa il cuore sentirai. You feel how that's a louder volume. That's a louder volume. And so there's more emphasis in that, right? That's much more in your face. That's much more like, una volta che avrai spiccato il volo deciderai, sguardo verso il cielo saprai, lì a casa il cuore sentirai. You see how that's different than una volta che avrai spiccato il volo deciderai, sguardo verso il cielo saprai, lì a casa il cuore sentirai, right? Isn't that amazing? And then we get going. Wait, pause. Do you feel how there we're saying sorvolando il grande monte Ceceri, sweeping over the great Mount Ceceri? What you end up getting is sorvolando. You're sweeping. This beautiful word painting, and Christopher is very good at this. So what we end up getting is sorvolando. We're just floating through the air. We're flying. We're sweeping over that. I also like that here everything is really stretched out because we're flying. Flying is about being in the wind, about being in the sky. So we're saying verso il sole, il grande uccello, towards the sun, the great big bird. Prenderai il primo volo. the bird will, that big bird will take its first flight. Sorvolando il grande monte Ceceri, riempendo l'universo di stupore e gloria, filling the universe with stupor and glory. You know? That's fucking huge words. Riempendo l'universo di stupore e gloria. And then what's just so lovely about that is when they say, yeah, you know, like, because we're filling us, the people of the world, we fill, you know, we fill the universe with stupor, with wonder and glory. It's this amazing, riempendo l'universo di. It's playful because it's like, yes, we're filling the universe with stupor and glory. It's an amazing feeling to fill the world with stupor and glory, right? You'll decide. Riempi. Isn't that nice? What a nice little accent there too, to decide to add the horns. Don't you feel that is absolutely a celebratory trumpet there? And when does that come in? That comes in when yeah, there, that's li a casa il cuore sentirai. There, that is where your heart will feel at home. So also consider the fact that we're repeating ourselves here. We're not extrapolating more text. We're not changing the emotional impetus here. We are actually, I shouldn't say that. What I'm saying is the words themselves have not changed. What has changed is the emotional impetus. Because there's a big difference from earlier, li a casa il cuore sentirai. There, your heart will feel at home. Here it's li a casa il cuore sentirai, right? Isn't that different? Don't you feel that? I'm spending a lot of time on this because I've been asked to cover this quite a bit, but also because it's fucking gorgeous, you know? I accidentally realized that when I was emphasizing that I was saying caca the whole time. But isn't this cool too? L'uomo verrà portato dalla sua creazione. Man will be lifted by his own creation. Come gli uccelli verso il cielo. Just like the birds towards the sky. Watch this entire thing just be about Leonardo da Vinci's experiments. He was like, I'm going to write this poem about myself. It's kind of funny. And that's glorious too. And that's a glorious too. That's a glorious too, because my Italian accent's starting to come. What's incredible about this is that we're actually getting a counter melody that's basically sustaining that, as we are just saying the same, we're repeating the same notes. We're saying, come gli uccelli verso il cielo, just like the birds towards the sky, riempendo l'universo di stupore e gloria. We are filling the universe with stupor and glory. But it's the counter melody that's driving it home for us. You know what I mean? Don't underestimate an O vowel. We're changing, we're shifting. Una volta che avrà spiccato il tuo deciderai. Think about how huge this is now, volume-wise. This is such in your face. Now the organ comes in. Gloria, And why does the organ come in? Why does the organ come in? Because we say glory. We say glory. Glory, glory to the invitation to fly towards a new horizon, to begin a new life, to bring joy to the people of the planet. Fuck. It's so good. Anyway, that was really fun. I love Sogno di Volare. I love Baba Yetu. Christopher Tin's music is so deeply emotional and so deeply, deeply, deeply interesting. And he is a modern day romantic composer from the 20th century. I mean, like, this is incredible stuff. I mean, it's just incredible stuff. Definitely sit down. If you like romantic music like this, you will love opera. You will love classical music from the 1920s, the late 1900s into the 20th century. Such good stuff. There's so, I mean, Puccini's like this, late Verdi's like this to a degree. You know, gosh, there's this. It's a continuation of a romantic time period. Now, obviously, those guys weren't necessarily writing specifically chorus, but I can't recommend, if you like this, a Puccini opera is going to melt your brain. It's just so worth listening to.